It's the icons, removing curses with our verses that remain immortal. Prepare yourself. A perilous journey, no matter how long, begins with the first step. Dissect facets of life to erect concepts that connect. Vibes and like spiritual essence, essential in the fourth dimensional. Chaotic expression, inceptions through synapses to find order in disorder. Sport of the kings, but without a concept is deemed a sequel. One after the other, similes that show similarities. Polarities to the icons, antiquate imitation dons. Lyrics written, lyric style, plus a concept worthwhile.
Let's begin the tech and motion extermination, decon, icon, literal excavation, change duration, switch up the pattern like a emphasis, make patient, and put an end with the mental retardation. Websites, they catch connections, my panoramic views leave a miracle online to expose all mental acts, weapons, endoplasmic virus enters the net like a vindictive quasar. Laminate the J-card, leaving shit stains on those without a scotch guard. Sandra Bullock strokes the keys and is denied access. Nobody on the planet can decipher the encrypted code when icons intercept.
It is I, Icon X, asking you to imagine. Zoom into a focal point, instantaneously it's blown up. Someone hung the phone up. Lazily my lazy eye smashes pixels. I just had your head over lemon juice and pickles. 150-pound dreaded enforcer. Need help, couldn't find a sorcerer. Nah, your girl, your weight. But you felt you wasn't forcing her. I think she pulled a fake. How do you explain that to the officer? Dim-witted MCs never could explain themselves. Couldn't rhyme if it was for their health.
Well, special guesting, the man who's Johnny questing, best in the best at lip wrestling. Acidic when the litmus comes testing, you must be jesting. Second guessing my criteria as if it's inferior. Schizophrenic soul in the area, scarier into submission or a head-on collision with psychotics. The curse, I think you've got it, and there ain't no antibiotic that can save you from chaotics unless you escape through the chasms. Really feel me like an orgasmic spasm.
The icons live curses, verses remain immortal. Transmitting elixirs out of the 619 portal. The icons live curses, verses remain immortal. Transmitting elixirs out of the 619 portal. The icons, the icons, icons, icons. The icons live curses, verses remain immortal. Transmitting elixirs out of the 619 portal.
As the unimind combines to intertwine chaos in order.
X leaks from the soul of Dizzy, expanding on knowledge as time gets shorter.
Symbiotic relations with nomadic implications.
Causes endoplasmic inflammation, smoke rises like condensation.
This is your greatest irritation, open exchange of information.
The die is cast between opposition and icon, now it's time to respond.
Similar to napalm in hand-to-hand combat, you do the math.
And try to escape the grapes or rap with an icon in your grasp.
It's of mice of men, a reference to next when you try to ascend.
Bent mana bills like dollar bills symbolize the end of existence, yet and still.
Evil men kill at will, spirits fill the skies with woe.
When death comes, can you hear the last breath of my oppressor's soul?
Thus inscribed like the Dead Sea Scroll in biblical metaphorical colloquials.
Icons become approachable, Prozacs with sacks of smokables.
A nickel bag is notable, but quite far from the total.
Eclipse, birth of a renaissance, an icon-induced seance.
The icons live curses, verses remain immortal. Transmitting elixirs out of the 619 portal. The icons live curses, verses remain immortal. Transmitting elixirs out of the 619 portal. Icons, the icons, it's the icons, it's the icons, it's the icons live curses, verses remain immortal. Transmitting elixirs out of the 619
I
portal.
forever float like plasma in the mind of an ex-convict. In fact, catch flashbacks similar to Vietnam vets on Prozac. Smoother than the bumps on the scalp of Kojak. For those who steal creativity, I utilize my verbal LoJack. We know your flow whack, press the space bar. Retrieving transmission and still the fission like ism. Or female vaginal walls when she releases the jism.
X needed your attention to transform to another dimension at the epicenter of B-boy. Now dig deep inside your mortal. Search with me and we shall find a portal. Skitzo eye, frosty and sketch. So guide you by the hand to a letter. Mortals living in a doom inhabited shell. Praying for a God in the heaven while living on hell. Follow our footsteps and your spirit shall rise above the rest.
Well, my land's been poisoned with blood, I can't deny, but tell me the reason why. The reasons that we're here, clearly cursed. Yes, I'm West Coast bound by the nets. The ghost town burst my bubble, double clutched. And now I've seen too much. Such and such is sucking up with their eyes on the icon, but please do not touch.
Immense capacity, imminent danger cause of veracity. My mind is the necessary element like plutonium in a megaton, hydrogen, Leviathan inhabited, catacomb, but I've combated all the known treachery. Since I remain unsigned hype, it's an empty treasury. It'll take the 7th seal and 13 men to reveal.
Icons live curses, verses remain immortal. Transmitting elixirs out of the 619 portal. The icons live curses, verses remain immortal. Transmitting elixirs out of the 619 portal. Live curses, verses remain immortal. Transmitting elixirs out of the 619 portal.
The icons, icons, We are the icons. Gotcha bandits.
Icons.
Tony the Skitzo.
Icons.
Vietnam on the track. You already know that.
Icons.